Maybe your parents and grandparents made dua for you, dreaming of your future success and happiness. Maybe you were a welcome surprise, or even a scary thought. However your conception was perceived by others, your existence was planned by Allah. He chose the environment that is perfectly suited for your personality and your potential. And He brought you into this world at a certain time, to a certain family, in a specific place, to fulfill your special purpose. Try to think of yourself as a light from Allah's decree brought to this world just at the right time, maybe even as an extension of the light of someone that came before you. Remember that gathering of Adam alayhi salam walking around and seeing people's light? Think of him being amazed by your light. Or even closer, remember that night when the Prophet ﷺ went up to the heavens on the night of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, and his whole ummah was presented to him? Imagine the Prophet ﷺ walking through his ummah and then coming up to you and saying, "What beautiful light you have." Or think of the dreams of those that came before us. For Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was the dream of this descendant who wouldn't arrive for thousands of years, but he was so worth it, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then sometimes the dreams get closer. Omar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, waking up one night with this huge smile on his face and saying, "Who is this child from my descendants that's going to fill the earth with justice after it's been filled with injustice?" And Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah, his great-grandson, was born just a few years after his death, but he fulfilled the dream. I often think, what persecuted, enslaved Muslim woman is Malcolm X at Hajj Malak al-Shabazz an answer to? Every single person has their special turn in the grand story of this world. The question is whether we realize our potential and become that blessed presence wherever we find ourselves. When Isa alayhi salam was born, he said, وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ, and Allah made me blessed wherever I may be. The scholars say that that's because Isa alayhi salam brings good to every environment he is in, and it's not exclusive to him. When we do the same, we are also mubarak to whatever place we're put in. And your birth itself may have been mubarak because you were a blessing to your family, and maybe even the answer to someone's dua long before you got here. We arrive in this world with certain hopes pinned to us, and also darkness that precedes us, confronting us at every turn. It might be the darkness of a broken family. It might be the darkness of someone else's betrayal. It might be the darkness of oppression. Remember, the Prophet ﷺ called dhulm, dhulumat, darknesses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illuminates the darknesses of this world through the light of His decree. He illuminates it through the light of His revelation. And then He illuminates it through the light of your deeds. That's what some of the scholars say, Nurun ala nur is, light upon light. But we have to kindle that light inside of us. Otherwise, we become sources of evil ourselves. And that's when the darkness of this world actually becomes our darkness. In fact, we can become submerged in waves of darkness. ظُلُمَاتٌ بَعْضُهَا فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ إِذَا أَخْرَجَ يَدَهُ لَمْ يَكَدْ يَرَاهَا. Darkness upon darkness instead of light upon light. And you become so blind that you can't even see your own hand. But you choose whether to be a curse of your time or a blessing for your era. This is what the Prophet ﷺ meant when he said, "Fi kulli qarnin min ummati sabiqun." In every generation of my ummah, there are forerunners. It means to be, as the scholars said, ibn al-waqt, a child of the moment. And it's not just your moment, because our stories are all interconnected, even across time and place.